Happy Valentine's month, everybody. I'm the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to share with you some of my favorite Valentine's Day episodes from TV shows or even movies. Um, Not everything is all lovey-dovey. Sometimes Valentine's Days deal with heartache and everything. So, some episodes will be romantic and lovey-dovey, while others will be very sad and heart-wrenching and stuff. But love is love. It doesn't always come with smiles and giggles and glee. So, I'm here today to talk to you about the new Batman Adventures Mad Love. I forgot what number episode this is, but you can find out. So, this is the episode that explains how one of the most toxic love affairs in comic book history ever happened. The meeting of Harley Quinn and the Joker. I've always wondered, well, I should tell you the truth, I never really wondered, growing up, how those two met. All I just know is that I watched the first season of Batman the Animated Series, and she appeared. I'm like, all right, so he has a hench girl. He has hench dudes, so I never care how they come in to be in his gang. And then, but none of his hench people at that time wore costumes, and until the new Adventures. But she was the one who always wore one. And so, I remember there was an episode where Joker, found some type, well, he stole this giant bomb and he was going to set off at Gotham. And Batman needed, Harley's help. And Robin asked straight up, what was she before she went nuts in the head? And he's all like, a clinical psychiatrist. And so I just never really gave that no thought. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid. You don't think about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Adam West Batman show, which got me into Batman. It's like they never once explained why Batman and Robin became who they did. All I just saw, okay, good guys, bad guys, that's all I need to know. But this episode decided to explain all that. And not only did it decide to explain it, but this episode has more meaning than you think. It's based off a comic book. A comic book that is based off of Batman the Animated Series. Why? Because Harley Quinn was created for Batman the Animated Series. And she was created by Paul Dini. And, Bruce Timm had a hand in that, I believe. And so the comic was written by Paul Dini as well. I gotta say, I never read the comic. I don't know what they might have left out. But this episode always bugged me for a million different reasons. Because there's so much continuity errors in this. There's just some things that just don't make sense. Also, I'll get into it a little bit later. Now, Paul Dini did do something very interesting. Years after this show got canceled, they came out with a show called The Batman. And so they finally introduced the character of Harley Quinn in the 4th season. They had already introduced the Joker in the 1st. And so, they got him to write that episode of Harley and the Joker meeting for the first time. And it's kind of the same thing, but different. It's a huge, it's very much different, but they still meet under the same instances. She's some type of psychiatrist type person. She wants to exploit the Joker and make a lot of money. He ends up corrupting her and stuff, and that's pretty much it. But it's completely different. I'll get into that when I do that review, because it's a very interesting episode. I kind of like that one a little bit more than this one. Now, there are elements in this episode I do like. It's just some things that just kind of happen for the sake of happening. So I'm really curious to see what the comic book is about and what they might have left out. So anyway, this thing starts off, and Commissioner Gordon has to go to a dentist appointment. And so, but he thinks it's an annual checkup. Nah, the Joker planned this. And so, he's pretty much gonna drill everything out of like Gordon's mouth and drill everything out his body and stuff. That's the Joker for you. But then Batman comes crashing through the window, and he tells Joker like, like this was pretty much a lame thing you set up. You pretty much let me know what you was gonna do. Like he always lets Batman know what he's gonna do, but it's just that when he gave him a thing of teeth, that just and the thing Gordon on it, that pretty much said, "Oh, I'm gonna do something with dentistry and stuff." But the Joker's a little confused. It wasn't him. It was Harley that sent that stupid message. So he's upset about that, and he gives this really cool line saying when he's about to leave. He throws like a grenade at Gordon. He's all like, "May the floss be with you," which of course is a play on of "May the Fourth be with you" because Mark Hamill voices the Joker, and Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. So like after that, the Joker's at his hideout and he's trying to come up with some kind of way to kill Batman. But Harley's in like a sexy outfit and she's doing a whole lot of sultry flirting, which I can't believe this got past the censors. There's so many innuendos in there. But pretty much the Joker does not want to have any of it. He just wants to focus on his thing and constantly keep shoving Harley away. And so he comes up with an idea of like he'll do something with the piranhas, but then he remembers why he scrapped that. He wants the piranhas to have these big smiles on their face as they're ripping Batman apart, but they don't smile. They have grumpy looks on their faces. His Joker toxin doesn't even work on them. So Harley's all like, "Well, why don't you just hang Batman upside down?" That way he can see smiles on the fish's face. Of course, that will make it work, but that pisses the Joker off because he didn't come up with it. And so he pretty much just throws her outside through the door. Now, the Joker and Harley, the Harley has one of the most abusive relationships in any comic book I've ever seen because the Joker literally beats the living snot out of her and everything. It isn't really shown that much in Batman the animated series, but it's shown quite a lot in this episode. So much that I'm shocked that it's happened on a kids' cartoon and the censors let this like pass. In the comics, they went even further, especially in the New 52, how much he tortures her. So much that now DC is very ashamed of all this because of the abuse real women suffer because women, they date men who beat them and they constantly go back. And that's what Harley did over and over. So then they finally decide, all right, we're going to end this in the comics. We're going to let Harley do her own thing. She can be bad all by herself. That is now translated into the Harley Quinn animated series. The DCEU now, like when they had Joker show up in Suicide Squad, the Joker was actually concerned that Harley was like away from him and could be in danger and he had to go rescue her. Then after that, she left him and did her own movie because they've been trying their best in DC to push her away from him, to help women, push themselves away from men that are abusive. I guess they see themselves in a comic. I don't know. Well, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, then she tells us, the viewers, how she met the Joker. This is what's so confusing. This had to have taken place during season 1 of Batman the Animated Series. I always assumed she became nutty before the events of season 1, but apparently she became nutty during the events of season 1. And during those events, this is where continuity issue kind of takes place because we see she's Harley Quinzel. She hasn't become Harley Quinn yet. She is in her psychiatrist like outfit, and she's talking about how she wants to get deep into the minds of these psychotics and everything. And then the person that's mentoring her is all like, "Well, you better not be trying to make no money off them," which of course that's what she wants to do. And so she wants the greatest criminal mind she can think of, the Joker. Now, continuity issue number 1 that I had with this at first was we see Poison Ivy in a cell with a plant. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I thought Harley made her introduction before her, Poison Ivy in season 1, but I gotta go relook that up because maybe Poison Ivy showed up before. But so if Poison Ivy was Poison Ivy by the get-go, then that means that Harley got screwed up in the head sometime after Poison Ivy made her debut in season one. So no continuity issues there if Harley showed up afterwards. So I had to go look that back up. And then so she's talking to the Joker, and he giving her some sob stories about how his dad used to beat the snot out of him, and how his dad took him to the circus, and how he loves seeing clowns, and and all this other stuff. And it really gets to her. Like, she has a soft heart for people who are abused and everything, and so she starts to like bond with him, and even to the point where um he is playing psychiatrist to her. Like, he's in the chair and she's laying down and she's telling him her problems and stuff. And so what caught her attention was that he gave her a flower in her office when she first showed up. He broke out of his cell somehow. And so it took her 3 months, but that's how she was able to get a session with him. Then this is where the continuity issues really get on my nerves. Now, throughout this whole time she's been talking to him, we didn't see his outfit, but we see his face. His face is in that of the new Batman, the animated style, the one that people hate, the one that makes the Joker look so slap happy and younger. Joker in this season is more slap happy than he ever has been in the other season. The other seasons he's more gruesome and stuff. But anyways, we see a flashback with him and Batman. Batman just got through beating the snot out of him and brought him back to Arkham. Batman is wearing the wrong outfit. He is wearing his new Batman Adventures outfit, and Joker is wearing his new Batman Adventures, outfit. They should have been wearing season one of Batman the animated series, but they're not. So then I started thinking to myself, okay, maybe this is before the events of season one, back when he met Dick Grayson as a little kid. Because remember, that outfit was very similar to this one. But we see that it's dark black, so it can't be that, because that one was blue. So yeah, that bugs me with the whole continuity issue thing. When she sees him all like bruised and battered, she grabs him and cradles him like a child. But then the guards separate those two, and she screams. Now here's my problem with this. Once they saw how attached she was to him, that should have set off a red flag to where they should have separated them two. But nope, she was still allowed to work there. And my other big problem is how she became Harley Quinn. This upset her so much that she ran to a novelty store, found a Harley Quinn costume, got like a whoopee cushion, a rubber chicken, and that little gun with a giant bullet, or the giant like cork in it. You know, that giant gun she has with the cork and stuff. So she got all of that, and then somehow she found out how to make a bomb, which she does not know how, but she did. And then she snuck back into Arkham dressed up as Harley Quinn. I don't know how she snuck into an insane asylum, because they literally show her sneaking in, and then she plants the bomb, busts him out, and then boom, they go off on their crazy ride and everything. That just happened too conveniently for my taste. I know they had to rush it because it's only like a 20-minute episode, but still. So then when she's talking to her hyenas, 'cause that's who she's telling the story to, and also us, she's all like, oh, it must be Batman's fault. That's the reason why the Joker hates her so much and stuff like that. So she devises a plan. She tricks Batman into thinking that she's going to give up being like her crazy self, which we thought she did in the third season of Batman the Animated Series, but whatever. So then she set up this elaborate plan. Batman shows up. Then the Joker shows up on a little boat thing, shooting at both of them because he thinks Harley set him up and betrayed him and stuff. Batman takes his batarang and throws it at the Joker and chops his head off. Batman didn't know it was a robot at that time. So it's kind of like, dude, you literally about to kill the Joker. But she tranquilizes him, and then she captures him, takes his belt off, and hangs him upside down on a tank of piranhas. And as she's explaining all this to him, he's all like, well, Joker ain't gonna believe you if these things kill me. I mean, all it's gonna have is bone, my outfit, and like blood, and anybody could fake that. So she panics and calls the Joker, which is pretty hilarious because he's all like, "Oh, Harley, where the heck have you been?" and stuff. And then so he pissed. He's all like, "You have who tied up where?" And then so like she's all happy and excited, and he busts through the door, and he's all like, "Harley!" And then so she's all like, "Hi, Puddin'," and then whack off screen, he smacked the crap out of her, and so then she's all like, "What's wrong?" He's all like, "Because you did something I wasn't able to do, and that's capture Batman." And then she explains to him how she remodified his plans and just hung Batman upside down, and he's all like, "I thought you would be happy." He's all like, "No, because you had to explain a joke to me. And if you explain a joke, then it's not funny." Plus, he's still pissed that she captured Batman. He's never been able to do that long enough for Batman to escape. And so, this is what the terrifying part is. She is like, well, first, before I get into that, one of the most terrifying things when Batman started laughing, which is something she said she's never seen before. And she is pissed scared of Batman like laughing. But not as scared as when the Joker's coming towards her and she's backed up against like a window. And all she has is like a sword fist to like defend herself. And then he's all like, "You've forgotten the first steps of comedy that I taught you, is that some people just doesn't know when to get the joke." And then he pushes her through the window. It's a very terrifying scene on a kid's cartoon show. And then we see her crash down off screen, but then when we see her body, it's basically limp and broken, and like a bunch of boxes and trash cans and stuff, and blood is dripping down her mouth. Joker goes to Batman's all like, "Yeah, let's just forget this ever happened. I'll just let you go." But then he's all like, "Wait, hold up now. You're tied up. You can't escape. I got a gun. Let me just cap you right now." But then Batman escapes, and then they fight a little bit to where Joker escapes. And then it's a cool scene because you think the Joker died, but then he fooled Batman. But then Batman somehow gets on the train, and they just have a talk and everything, talking about how Harley did what you never could, and he calls him Puddin', which of course he hates being called. So then they fight on the train, and then the Joker presumably dies to his death, right? Like he always does and stuff. But then we see Harley next, and she is banged up. Her neck is broken. Her arm is broken. Her leg is broken. She has a huge bruise on her cheek, and her head is bandaged up. He screwed her up when he threw her out the window. And then she says in her head, like she's finally had enough and she's ready to leave the Joker. All until they take her to her room and she sees a flower with a sign saying, "Get well soon, Jay." So then she's all back in love with the Joker. And this lasts all the way into Justice League, the animated series, and the events of Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. She has not left his behind yet. But then we find out, and then it's weird because, the Batman Return of the Joker, Batman the anime, oh, Batman the New Adventures, and Justice League, they all got like different costumes, so it's continuity issues there again. But eventually, after he corrupts Robin and she falls to her presumed death, she then finally leaves him because the Joker died. That's the only reason why she left him and everything, because he was murdered. And then she ended up making like twins. And oh no, she ended up having a child, and then she ended up having grandkids, and her grandkids are twins. Who's the father of her baby? It can't be the Joker because she said he just doesn't want to make a baby with her. But then again, we never know what happened off screen, so you know what I'm saying. And then of course there's that Batman and Harley Quinn movie where she shows up again without the Joker and other crap. And I really miss the voice actress. I don't know why she quit. Like she just literally quit. And other people have taken her place and they do a pretty good job, but nobody can replace her. You know what I'm saying? And I really miss her, man. Like I don't know why she quit the voice of Harley Quinn, and she never came back. Never. Like when she quit, she quit. Now when Mark Hamill quit, of course he came back. But when she quit, boy, she just up and left. Now, wasn't that romantic? Or depressing, depending on what kind of video I just talked about. Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And bye.